What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Hagrit. Spawning in the top of the map in the red color, playing as Oranos. He's from the DoD clan. His name is Shelty. The map is Blue Lagoon by Rebel Rising and Bubble, if you didn't know. It's one of the new-ish maps that was implemented in Voobly. Essentially, it has only forward gold mines, it has some water on the map, and then town centers are pretty aggressively located. You don't normally get two back town centers, in other words. Essentially, there's some maps where you can have two back town centers like Savannah. This map, not like that. There's not a lot of hunt. You have your initial giraffe, you have some berries, and then you have this hunt out here. I mean, there's elephants, so if you find the elephant, there's always a lot of hunt if you find the elephant, but that's that. It's really actually a very strong map for Oranos. Oranos is able to basically do a very aggressive strategy because I'm pretty sure they can get to the classical age just off of these giraffe and then move forward onto stuff. So they don't have to do too much villager walking, which makes it very strong for the Atlanteans, who do suffer quite a bit by having to travel to their resources, more so than other civilizations. Poseidon, on the other hand, on this map, I like it because he uses the lure early so he can get some of those elephant potential to move in. He's got a hyena here. Hyena aren't bad, it's actually okay because sometimes they'll run across and attack your granary, so you can have extra hunt on your granary, extra 100 food basically at your granary. So he's just going to get one of these villagers and set him onto that hyena, and you get that extra 100 food from that location. Instead of 900, you have 1,000. It's pretty good. So never be upset if you see a hyena. Hyena are just as good as everything else. I do like it when I see players killing off giraffe and such so that they're close to it. If you don't kill off your hunt when you've initially built your granary, you risk the hunt either one, moving to your lure if you're Poseidon, but more importantly, moving away from your granary. Unfortunately, for some reason, Hagrit's not actually hunting this hyena. I'm not sure why not there, but he's not taking advantage of that one as much as he possibly can. We do see that he is doing the 2 wood, 2 gold strat. So this one's very important. You can only build one granary extra. So you have your initial granary, you can only build one more because you need to build a house and you need to build a temple. If you put, sorry, he's got 3 villages. I think I meant that initially. If you go 3 villages, you can only build the extra 1 granary. And you build that house and you can get a temple, and you can advance to the classical age in about 4 minutes and 30 seconds, which Hagrit really needs to do. He's got a very exposed forward gold mine. He wants to go very fast to the classical age. Either Poseidon can go through Ares or Hermes. If he goes Ares, he can potentially use his Ares as a sort of ceasefire, aggressive ceasefire, where he's not actually having a ceasefire and he can actually attack his opponent with his Jason and his Hippolyta, while his opponent can't produce any military. It's kind of a ceasefire in a way. Or he can go Hermes, be safe, and if he needs to cast ceasefire early in the game to protect his gold mine and let his economy kick in so that he can equal his opponent in army, he can do that as well. Shelty, on the other hand, he's building his temple up. I'm going to jump over to his perspective. He's building up his temple and he's going for very, very standard 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Nothing special here. He's got 3 villages forward on food, which makes me believe he wants to leave them there. So it looks like he might be doing a 3 food, 2 wood, 2 gold, which is a little bit more heavy on the food, which allows him to go Murmillo-Terma instead of heavy Murmillo-Terma instead of like heavy Terma with some Murmillo. So I'll be interested if he actually does that, which he is. He's leaving 3 villages here. He might change these over after he's got the hand axe and pickaxe, something that I've seen people do, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't and he just chucked up a manor right here in order to protect his villages or his citizens. If we jump back over to Hagrit's perspective, he is going through Ares. I like this. It's very interesting. He's got a lot of villages on gold though, so it does look like he might be trying to do some sort of Ares into a fast second town center. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but that could be his idea there. But regardless, he's got his Theseus out, so he's going to be moving forward. He spotted that this has been a plausible... I would have thought he would have gone straight there. He spotted that this is a plausible hunt spot, and he is moving over here. So he's going to be able to harass what Shelty has. And Shelty's actually got no response for this, so he might actually have to return these citizens back home, and because he's not going to be able to get out his Terma or his Murmillo fast enough. He's building up a mana straight away, so that's a good defense there. He's going to be able to put these villages inside the manor. However, that means he's not going to have any sort of food income, and building a barrack straight away, maybe not the best idea there, because he's not going to be able to get any food coming out of here unless he just micros his villages back and forth, which it looks like is what he's doing. But Hagrit now going through areas, he's going to be sending his catastrophic scouting. He's going to be looking for barracks and temples to be dealing with. If we jump back over to Hagrit's perspective, he's also going to be getting that Hippolyta out straight away, and he's going to be sending that forward. He's sending his Cyclops forward as well, so he's going to be able to defend against all of that. I think he's looking to try and find where the where anything else is, and then trying to cast this Ares, and he does manage to. He does manage to hit the counter barracks. That's huge. Does not hit the temple, but the temple's not actually building anything. So that's huge. He's getting the barracks, he's getting the counter barracks, and he's going to be able to push his opponent off that food as the Cyclops comes in. And he's going to lose this mana as well. This is very, very good, as we do see that the town center is now coming up. However, no Hippolyta coming over here. I'm not sure why Hagrid's not responding to this. He can just villagify this completely fine, and it's going to be fine there. So he's just going to have some little bit of jockeying back and forth here, a little bit of harass. Just try and keep this villager alive, and you're totally fine. Just move these villagers forward. Yeah, pick off one Promethean spawn when there's two. It's more easy to do that harass. When there's only one, not so much. We do see a Pelt of Argus here, not going to be that good. Blanket of Emperor's Zone, not that good either until later in the game. It's definitely a relic you should pick up against Greek if you're Atlantean, because their buildings, their siege can do quite a bit of damage in the early game, and it really helps you survive through it. We do see Prometheans now coming out for Hagrit. Not Hagrit, Shelty. Shelty not going for that second town center either. So Hagrit is going to be in a pretty good spot economically here. You might want to think about starting to produce some of those stables and potentially just go very, very heavy on food and go stable and barracks. But potentially stables and archery ranges is totally fine as well. We do see that Valor's now come out, so he's going to actually have to retreat here. This isn't really a fight you can completely win, and you're going to get chased down by the Atlantean army and lose your Cyclops if you're not too careful here. So instead, he's looking to try and pick off that sentry tower, and then he's going to retreat. So this is okay. Not managing to get the sentry tower. He does need to return back to his base and then wait for him to get that economy kicking in, and he's going to be fine. Want to get this catastrophic scout sitting on this town center, so you just can check what's going on there and see if anything happens. Also, maybe even patrolling here, so you can see if any gold mines do get taken there. This Hippolyta is going to be taking quite a bit of damage, which is why he probably could have retreated a little bit early as units started coming out there. But she's still going to be alive. We do see a wall coming in now for Hagrit. Walls build pretty fast, so this wall, maybe this wall won't be up by the time the Hippolyta comes through. He's actually going to be trying to run her around. Well, I guess you can sneak through the side of this and be totally fine as well. With these wall segments here. Oh, no, not going to be fine. This is a nice little surround here by Shelty. So Shelty's going to pick off this Hippolyta. Very nice. But it's fine. Hagrit's actually got so much wood at the moment because his economy is a little bit out of balance. Maybe he doesn't know about these elephant over here, that there's two elephant. Should be sending some of these villagers off the wood onto that food so that he can produce some more stuff a little bit faster. Not producing any of those Hibicon just yet. It's a little bit of an interesting decision, but we'll see if it works out for him. Jocking up that military academy now. I like this. Normally you see Greek essentially choosing between Hippicon and Hoplite. They do this because they don't have the food to do anything else. However, and it's normally good. It's normally like it works. Either or generally works. However, against Atlantean, the Hoplite actually do very, very good against a lot of what Atlanteans can build. And if you have the Hippicon, they die quite easily to Murmillo. So if you have them mixed in with the Hoplites, you can kind of sneak the Hoplites into taking damage from the Murmillo, and they're kind of even, whereas the Hippicon can then sneak around onto the Terma, do quite a bit of damage to the Terma or Kyra Ballista, and it's kind of a big game of rock, paper, scissors who can micro the best. It's quite good. We just see a little bit of a raid coming in over here. This village is going to take a little bit of heat, but he can just garrison into that watchtower if he needs to. does manage to get the house up in time, and the Oranos army is going to have to retreat now. So Shelty's recovered from that early attack that Hagrit was doing. He's going to want to be thinking about grabbing that second town center at some point soon, so that he doesn't fall too far behind in the economy. He's still looking to raid as much as possible. He can actually move in and sit some Terma right here and do a significant amount of damage to this wood line here. However, I'm not sure what he's going to be choosing to do. He is trying to do as many multi-raids as possible. I really like this. When your opponent has to wall in, this is how you force your opponent to wall in. You can really control the map very, very nicely. This actually might come down to a fight for gold, because this gold line's not actually that great for Hagrit unless he can chew through this wood line fast enough, because then he's going to be able to just sit on this and defend. This is probably the best gold for Hagrit at the moment. Stable's also getting picked off here. These Toxito are doing a significant amount of damage to the army of Shelty though, so he's going to have to retreat there. Shelty's sitting at 93 population. Hagrit's sitting at only 78, so he's got a little bit of catching up to do on the population. However, if he can hit that 115 of 115 by the time he needs to go to that 130 of 130 by the time he needs to go for that second gold mine, it's going to be very difficult for Shelty to win that fight if Hagrit can micro well enough. That being said, Shelty does have access to Shockwave, so Shockwave can really turn the tide of the fight. However, it's been significantly nerfed in these patches, so it's not as fight altering as it used to be. You do see some of these Terma coming in. They can pick off a Toxito with 3 shots. So what you can actually do, that's a nice shockwave there as he comes in. He's going to be picking off a bunch of units. I really like this choice by Shelty coming in for a little fight here. I don't think he wants to fight this too full on. Just a little bit of a skirmish here and then a retreat would be totally fine. Make sure you get these Terma to be attacking off that Cyclops though. They need to be doing that. So many of those Toxitos were picked off there. That was such good micro there by Shelty with all of those Terma. As I was saying there, Toxitos died of 3 shots, so you can split them up into groups of 4 or 5 and then kill off a bunch of Toxitos really, really quickly. And we do see Shelty pushing in really, really hard here. He's not going to be able to get too much out of this, so he's really just trying to pick up all the military units and then retreat, maybe pick up a couple of villages in this location and then get out of there without losing too many military units, maintain that advantage he has in population. Right now, Hagrit's setting at 66 population to Shelty's 100 population. So this is really, really big for Shelty. Shelty grabbing that second town center as well. I don't like that he's sticking in here. He's taking so much damage from this town center, which has got that extra bonus damage from having those villages getting garrison in here. We do see that a couple of villages are getting picked off here, so that's actually nice for Shelty as well. So he's getting a little bit more out of this than he should have. Hagrit not playing the defense all too well now. Shelty realizes what's going on here, and he's going to be able to retreat out of here without taking too many more losses, maybe 1 or 2. A couple of these hero Terma very, very low there. He did manage to pick off one of those as he's retreating. He does have another access to Valor. We do see that Hagrit is trying to get some of those Cyclops out. He does have one villager on the farm. We do see that Theseus is coming out. Hagrit just needs to get more military buildings. He's going to get pushed off this gold mine as well. This could be the end of the game. If he can just sit here and you can just prevent Hagrit from mining gold. That being said, he can sneak through this location here. If we check out Shelty's line of sight here, he can sneak through up here onto this gold mine. Shelty doesn't know about it either, so he should be able to work out that he's missing a gold mine. Oh no, he's actually missed 2 gold mines. So yeah, I might actually think he's spotted every single gold mine on the map. So there's one trick you can do. If you see an odd number of gold mines on the map, that means that you've missed 1. If you see even, it means you've either missed 2 or you've seen them all. So if Hagrit can move his villages over to this location, he can actually manage to not get gold stuff because Shelty's not going to know about it. But he might get spotted if he does move through this location instead of through this location here. Anyways, we do see that Shelty's moving in here again, trying to pick off the villages that are exposed. I still don't like that he hasn't just sat on this gold mine. It's just one of those things that you can just kind of do. If your opponent can't mine any gold, he can't produce any units. Hagrit's sitting at only 25 gold. He is trying to mine from this gold mine here. I like this a lot. He's building some archery ranges and some walls over here. So now Hagrit has to basically move through the town center in order to get to this gold mine. So Hagrit's still sticking in this game. Definitely want to be putting some of that food into Cyclops. Maybe even put a couple couple more villages onto this temple. Cyclops is such a strong unit against what Shelty has. These Terma would get picked off so nicely, and he'd have to actually spend a bunch of resources on heroizing them in order to deal with those Cyclops. But no Cyclops coming out just yet for Hagrit. It looks like he's trying to get to that heroic age so he doesn't fall too far behind. Shelty, on the other hand, he's not actually close to the heroic age at this point, but as soon as he hits that 130 or 130 population, or 145 or 145 if he decides to go to that second town center, he's going to be able to get resources incredibly quickly. Skip that heroic age, go straight to the mythic age through Tartarus. Is it Tartarus? I don't know. But basically that Tartarian gate, slam that down on his opponent's gold mine, and then just hit everywhere else at the same time. And it's going to be very difficult for Hagrit to get back into this game. I do like that he's built more military buildings, but can he afford it? He doesn't have the. He doesn't really have the gold at this point. Only having 6 villages mining gold is so difficult to stay in this game with such a little gold economy. He's got 4 buildings getting auto-queued from. However, they're not all building at the same time. Well, they are actually all building, so he's actually managed to do that, but they're all dying so quickly. Part of being able to win these fights so well is you leave your units on top of your enemy's buildings, and as soon as they spawn, you can pick them off without taking too much damage. So really, the only unit that's killing off what Shelty has right now is the town center. Kind of. Not really, but that's kind of a thing. Anyways, we do see that Shelty's moved over onto this side gold mine. So Hagrit's got an opportunity there to send off a rogue raid if he so chooses. And I wonder if this was spotted. Can Shelty see this at all? Does the villager come into the line of sight? Nope, the villager sneaks by, and Shelty's got no idea that that gold mine is getting hit there. So you can probably just retreat these guys back over here and be totally fine. The other option is Shelty could even sneak through this location here. But Hagrit can sneak through that location, through this wall here, if he did choose to do that a little bit earlier. Alrighty, Shelty's doing a really good job here. He's grabbing that 3rd town center as well. He's probably he doesn't have his armory up just yet. He can afford to build it though, so he probably should get that armory up, get some of those maybe not maybe some copper armor, get some copper weapons as well if he so chooses to stay in this classical age, which sometimes getting that 3rd town center indicates you want to stay in the classical age for a little bit longer and go for that strong gold staff. Hagrit, on the other hand, he's finally got some of that gold income coming up. He's still sitting only at 85 population, so he can't keep this spam going. So basically, Shelty's forcing this spam fight to happen while he's sitting at the most population. We see that heroes coming out again, trying to pick off these Prometheans as fast as possible. A bunch of villagers are getting picked off by these Terma, but Terma want to focus on killing off Toxotoes as fast as possible. There we go. We do see that they are killing off Toxotoes pretty quickly there. We do. Basically, this is just a big mess here for Hagrit. Hagrit, I'm not sure what he could do. Potentially chucking up another watchtower in this location would be pretty good. Shelty, what's he doing? Is he going to be moving over to this location? He's not. He hasn't decided to go over there yet. There's 4,000 gold left in there, so that's plenty enough. We see that Shelty's now got his armory up, and he's going to be grabbing that heroic age as soon as possible. Probably going to go through, what's it called? Hesperid's tree, maybe? I can't remember what the god's called. So bad. Alrighty, we do see that finally, looks like Hagrit has stabilized a little bit here, with Shelty sitting at 126 pop, and Hagrit sitting at 104 population. I'm just not sure why Shelty's not hit the class. There we go. He's choosing Hyperion, so it's totally wrong. Hyperion has access to Chaos. Chaos is a completely different. It's not a completely different god power. It's been completely buffed. So normally the other god was generally the one you wanted to pick as Oranos, but now you can take Chaos, and essentially it kills a myth unit. So it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like a guaranteed kill on a myth unit. So you can cast Chaos when your opponent has their free Nemean Lion or what have you, and you're going to be totally fine. Hagrit he does have his armory up, but he hasn't had the resources just yet to click that next age. So Shelty's going to be casting Shockwave there. That's nice Shockwave. I much prefer Shockwave being cast on Toxotes though. I guess this allowed Shelty to move in and get those Terma to be focusing down these Toxotoes, but unfortunately they're not doing that anymore, and they're killing off other stuff. What you can do is you can grab your Terma and you can shift click the Toxotoes you want to kill, and then they're going to automatically move to the next Toxotoes once it's dead. There's a really nice fight there by Hagrit, managing to basically get himself back into this game, as we do see that Shelty's hitting Hyperion there. If we jump back over to Shelty's perspective, he's sitting a little bit low on the food, so he's not jumping straight to that mythic age. He is chucking up a market right in the middle of his base there, so we're going to see what goes on with that. As we do see that Shelty is moving back out and forth. I think he thinks that he should have gold starved his opponent, but Hagrit's still in the game, so maybe he's worked out that he should, that basically Hagrit has found a gold mine. So we'll see if he does manage to do anything with that. We do see a palace now coming up in the front of the base of Hagrit. So this palace is going to be able to come in and it's going to start producing destroyers and then fire siphons once the mythic age comes through. Satire have also been buffed, so I'm interested to see if more satire are getting produced there by Shelty. Unfortunately, we don't see any more of those. They're basically now more like the what are they called? Manticore. So when they're en masse, when they're only one of them, they're not that strong. But en masse, when they throw a bunch of arrows into an army, they kill so many units. You see this is a nice fight there. We do see that Chaos has been cast. That did change a bunch of those units of Hagrit, and they're basically killing off what Hagrit has instead of killing off what Shelty has, which is a nice win there for him. And he's moving in now. He's going to be picking off some of those Toxotoads. I like this fight here. It's basically forcing your opponent to spend more and more resources on his army instead of grabbing ages. And now we see that there's the resources going through Hecate. Hecate's the god of choice. And that is the Tartarian Gate choice there. We do see some more buildings coming out now for Hagrit. Hagrit's going to have to really catch back up right now. Unfortunately, he keeps losing his army, and I don't think he's that close. He's going through Aphrodite, so it's good he is catching up on the tech. So he's going to be able to potentially go straight to that Mythic Age. And then if he can start getting some of those Mythic Age myth units out, he might be able to come back here because it's very hard for Atlantean to deal with those Greek myth units. So he's going to want to go through Artemis and get what he can in order to deal with Shelty if he manages to get that far. But with that Tartarian Gate coming, it's looming. It's going to be there so soon. It's going to be very difficult. We do see that finally Shelty's finally seen this wall here. He's going to be able to move in and start picking off this gold mine. But this gold mine is going to be exhausted soon, so he's actually going to have to deal with a different location. Basically, what Hagrit has to do now is he has to be concerned about gold. If these villagers all have to move off this gold mine, then it's going to be huge for Shelty there to finish this game off. Unfortunately for him, Hagrit's army is actually finally starting to stabilize a little bit. He's sitting at 120 population to Shelty's 144, so he is able to basically catch back up here. And he's got that Nemean line coming in here. He wants to pretty much be spamming Nemean lines if he can, and also getting a trade route going on. Much better to get that market over this side of the map, but I guess he's working with the space that he's in. You can see how he's boxed himself into this little corner here. He doesn't want to move out too far. We do see that Hecate's come out now. This is not what you want to do. You don't want to move in here and cast. You don't want to cast Tartarian Gate over here. There's only 400 gold left on this gold mine. Shelty has noticed that, and he's going to decide not to. He's moving into the back location of Hagrit instead, and he's going to be casting Tartarian Gate somewhere in here. It's not exactly a great position there. You don't want to have this Tartarian Gate right in the range of the town center. And we do see that village is going to be moving out here, attempting to pick off this Tartarian Gate. But Tartarian spawn coming through here. They're so strong. Look at them. It's like 4 or 5 hits and a villager dies. So he's going to be trying to pick up that Tartarian Gate while this fight moves in here. Gold mine does expire, so this is huge right now. Hagrit's sending all of his villagers over here to kill off this Tartarian Gate. Hagrit has to move his villagers into the fight where Shelty is. Shelty's got one of these lampades in his here as well, so he's going to be converting units to Chaos, to Gaia in order to pick off more of what Hagrit has, and he's going to be moving in here. Looks like Shelty's attempting to mine gold right in the fight here. We do see that for some reason Shelty says, no, I'm not enjoying this fight right now. I'm going to have to move back. We do see that this palace is in range of picking off these villages as well, as finally Shelty does see that he was firing against a building there instead of villagers. So what's going to happen here? He's going to have to move his villagers in over here. He's going to be trying to pick off this palace with the villagers, treating them as sort of a siege units. He does have 150% versus towers, but palace is not classified as a tower, so it's just normal villagers trying to kill a huge building like a palace. And all of these units right here from Shelty basically just have to kill off these amount of units of Hagrit, and he's going to be able to take this game from him. We do see that the Tartarian Gate has been picked off here. Only a couple more Tartarian spawns, And Hagrit says, no, there's no way I can recover from this situation I put myself into. Not able to kill this palace, not able to defend against all of the stuff that Shelty was doing to him. Hagrit taps out, says GG. Woo. Very well played here by Shelty. I feel like if he scouted better, he could have clenched this game earlier, but he played well for what he saw. I think he was confused and he thought there was no other gold mines on the map. But generally, if you see your opponent keeping up with you, it means there is a gold mine somewhere. And unfortunately for him, he couldn't actually push through what Hagrit was doing, and he had to go for the backup strat, which is getting to that mythic age and putting the pressure on, and then taking that third gold mine from Hagrit. So he's got his first gold mine, couldn't manage to push him off that. Second gold mine, couldn't manage to push him off that. Third gold mine, managed to control, and that was the game. If you enjoyed this game, please rate, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want to see my videos as soon as they come out. My name is Boit, and I'm going to see you guys next time.